Unbelief chokes the power of God. It interferes with the flow of the power of God. Because the power of God flows in faith. Unbelief chokes the flow of the power of God. Fasting eliminates unbelief. Because fasting is taking our confidence from our flesh, from our minds, from our reasoning, from our wisdom, and inviting the supernatural. It is inviting God into our affairs. So the remedy to unbelief is fasting. The remedy to unbelief is fasting. Anytime there is an element of unbelief, is because your confidence is in your facts. You are reasoning. The status quo. Be real. You need to be factual. You need to know we are living in Kenya. The economy is going down. Those are facts. But fasting says it is possible to pick this mountain and commission it to the next destination. Now that goes beyond reasoning. That is where faith comes in. Fasting is a remedy against unbelief. People who struggle with fasting are victims of mountains called unbelief. Fasting is disarming my flesh so as to arm my spirit. Fasting is disarming my flesh. Because trust me, the greatest enemy to our walk with God is our personal confidence. The greatest enemy to our walk with God is our personal confidence. You disarm the flesh and arm your spirit through fasting. The reason why you struggle to fasting is because your flesh doesn't want to be disarmed. The flesh wants to be on duty. Because anything outside fasting is enticing of your flesh. Food entertains your flesh. Movies entertain your flesh. Because what is fasting? Fasting is not only the abstinence from food. It is to abstain from anything that gives you pleasure. That's fasting. It is abstinence from things that gives you pleasure. That's why Paul says to the Corinthians, when you are fasting, make sure you don't fast long, especially if you are married, because one of the things that the enemy would do is to attack your area of pleasure. So fasting disarms you. If you are living in fear, if you are living in doubt, if you are living in uncertainty, if the future doesn't seem clear, engage fasting. Suppress this limited flesh, limited eyes, limited mind. Because even what we call wisdom is all, based on past information. Do you realize everything we call knowledge and wisdom are based on past information? It is only in the spirit where you can have access to what is in the future. It's only in God where you can see the future, where you can plan the future. But everything we call success, education, everything that we call from whichever level to the highest of learning, they are all based on information that has already been approved, checked, confirmed from the future, and then given for our consumption. When it has been approved, then we call it knowledge. That's when you now begin to pursue it in form of education to levels that are established. But all belong to the past. But there is something that gives you access to the future. The faith that comes from the knowledge of God. That can be accessed through fasting.